read them, 4.5, 4.6 average. There's over, I think there's 1,100 reviews. Of that, over 1,000 are perfect 5-star or 4- and 5-star reviews. So it's another one, and this is an example too. You really, truly notice and feel the difference when you take it. And is it not true that these are very expensive ingredients? This is one of the most expensive products to manufacture.
To do it correctly, glucosamine hydrochloride is much less expensive. That's why most companies choose to use glucosamine hydrochloride, because it's so much less expensive. And glucosamine sulfate is more expensive, but that's the form that's been validated by the science. What's interesting, what I've often said about glucosamine hydrochloride, if you need to be consuming more acid with your meals to help your digestion, if you think you need more acid for your digestion, then glucosamine hydrochloride, at least it's providing that hydrochloride group, that hydrochloric acid, so it could help with your digestion. If the issue was that you were hypoacidic, if you didn't have enough hydrochloric acid. But just again, just to show the product quickly, it's an ultra fine powder. And that's another difference, that most glucosamine chondroitin on the market is in a rock-hard tablet. Hard to digest, hard to swallow. It will, again, because of its acidity, could upset your stomach as that tablet slowly disintegrates. Ours is an ultra-fine powder, goes into solution immediately, so it's available for absorption. Yeah, and that's a huge difference.
I think that's the greatest thing about taking these vitamins. If you are new to the world of vitamins, or if you're like a lot of people and you've had a bad experience. And I think a lot of us have been there, where you've taken vitamins in the past, they repeated on you, they upset your stomach, they were rock hard tablets, they were hard to swallow. And so you just sort of gave up because it wasn't worth the bother. Who wants to go, you know, have a stomach ache and have vitamins repeating on you and all of that stuff? So I think for a lot of us, you discover Andrew does this in a way they're easier to swallow. They do not upset your stomach. They dissolve beautifully. They're that proper delivery system, so you can absorb and get the benefits you need from these ingredients. It's not a rock sitting in your stomach, but it's all those things that Andrew does. It's more expensive to do that. It's more expensive to make a vitamin like this than just to stamp it into a tablet. But you know that this is the way we're really going to get those ingredients delivered properly and digested properly.
And they're not going to make us miserable. They're not going to be hard to swallow. They're not going to upset your stomach. They're going to work. I mean, we invest our hard-earned money on a product because we have expectations. And if someone makes a glucosamine product not using the form that the science talked about, it's going to be a waste of your money. And there's great science. If we look at this chart, there's great science on glucosamine. Glucosamine, the science has been developing for decades. Not only is there science where people talk about how their joints feel, but there's science where they actually look at x-rays of joints and they actually see the difference that these ingredients can make in the structure of the tissues of the joints. But as you see here, almost 20,000 papers have been published, more than 17,000 on chondroitin, so 19,500 on glucosamine.
Wow.
More than 1,200 have been published on both together, and combined more than 2,600 clinical trials, meta-analyses, and systematic reviews, which are the highest standard of clinical science. So these are both ingredients that have been subjected to a great deal of scrutiny. And again, if you want the benefits, and you want the benefits of all that great science, you have to use the ingredients as the science does. And unfortunately, most of the glucosamine you're going to see in supermarkets, discount stores, pharmacies, out in the marketplace, for you, for the pets that you love, are going to be glucosamine hydrochloride, HCl. The form that the science says you must take is glucosamine sulfate. That's the only form I've ever used in 40 years. It's the only form you should use.
There we go. I know we have to go. If you're ordering yours, thank you so very much. Variety Hour is fun because you get to see a lot of products. Throughout the day, sometimes we spend a little extra time, but just to get you guys the information so that you can stock up on your favorites or try